let me talk about Raila's support for Adani deals in the country. Now, Adani is an Indian-based company that is believed to be very rich, wealthy. So it's a company that has come to Kenya to invest according to William Ruto's government. So they are saying they advertised the airport, they leased it to them for 30 years, and some other things. They said that there's an additional clause that says they can own the Adani actually for 20 years more. I don't know on what basis, because nothing is clear from the Adani. However, surprisingly, Raila came out to support Adani and say that they deserve the same chance, just like any other person, to invest in Kenya and develop the Kenyan infrastructure. Raila added by saying that the Kenyan government does not have money, so we need PPPs to ensure at least we've gotten money to improve our infrastructure in the country. So in short, Raila was saying that Adani is clean and it's supposed to invest in the country. That is going to form the basis of this analysis here today. But before I do so, if this is the first time you're watching our videos, please make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Now, how did we know about Adani in the country? It started from a young man who simply leaked some information to Richard Onyonka, and then Richard Onyonka exposed what is happening at the JKIA. Richard Onyonka, actually through him, it's how Kenyans got to learn more about the Adani. And before I proceed, let me just, for avoidance of any doubt, let me just state it here that whatever Onyonka was saying has finally come to pass, because we have now Adani taking over Ketrako, they are taking over JKI, just like he had said before, and everything confirms that Onyonka had valid information. So therefore, the government was the one that was wrong, because at first they said there's nothing like that, and later on now they came to admit, and they say that actually the deal has not been signed yet. So we were expecting them to sign it, but to make matters worse is that now Adani is officially taking over the JKIA and Ketrako. Now, Raila coming out to support Adani deal, and Onyonka being one of the senior ODM members, being among the people who first blew the whistle about the Adani deal. Where does this leave the country or the ODM party? Where does this position Onyonka himself as a senator? Now, Raila Amolo Odinga, it was expected that, of course, he's okay with the Adani deal, because he didn't raise any alarm. He did not talk to William Ruto and tell him, please withdraw these Kenyans, do not want this. He just simply behaved the same way he behaved in Finance Bill 2024, the way he behaved in Finance Bill 2023, and now the way he has behaved once again with the Adani deal and any other deal that the government has. So long as he benefits, that's how he behaves. We all know about this. But let's talk about now the Adani deal specifically, on how he has behaved. I wish he could have just kept it under the water. Just relax and say, I support the Adani deal, but I'm not going to say it, because right now there's no much noise in the country about the Adani deal. The government has managed to divert the media, the mainstream media, to discuss other things like impeachment as the Adani deal goes on. So therefore, there was no need for Raila Amolo Odinga being that ignorant to a level that he does not care the expressions and feelings of the Kenyans, just like we are experienced with William Ruto. So therefore, when we have Raila Amolo Odinga, the party leader of ODM, supporting the Adani deal, while the person now of Onyonka, the senator of ODM, going against it, it leaves the country raising some questions. Is Onyonka with Raila Amolo Odinga? There's a simple conclusion that I've made out of this kind of a contradiction. Raila Amolo Odinga does not care what Kenyans feel first, and he has ignored Onyonka. Why am I saying that Onyonka was supposed to be taken very serious? He had some pertinent questions that he was raising to the government that we expected Raila Amolo Odinga, being a statesman as he is, he could have come out and at least ensure these questions are addressed, because this is his senator. Now, Onyonka talked of transparency within the Adani deal. He said that Kenyans should get full information about the Adani deal. They talk of the law being followed to the letter to ensure that the Adani deal is done according to the law. You are talking about the Kenyan workers at the JKIA who are losing their job. The 5,000 of them are AAA. Therefore, the Kenyan people, we wanted these things to be very clear. And even if it's the tender that was supposed to be given or the leasing, at least it's open to other companies so that we can be sure there's no Kenyan with the capacity to develop the hotel, the airport. But now, and despite Onyonka raising the issue, Raila Amolo Odinga still could not take his time, interrogate these issues with Onyonka, and even have him on board, see a very nice meeting, even have the statement made by Onyonka, not even Raila Amolo Odinga himself. But instead, he ignores Onyonka and goes ahead to support the Adani deal. That means the opposition of this country is completely done, ruined completely. Now, there are a few conclusions I want to make as far as this statement of Raila Amolo Odinga is concerned. And actually, that is going to form now the future, the position the Senator Kisii County Richard Onyonka is supposed to take as far as the Kenyan politics is concerned. It is very clear from Raila Amolo Odinga's statements that the ideologies of Onyonka and the ideologies of ODM led by Raila Amolo Odinga do not merge somewhere, do not coincide. That means he's in the wrong party. This goes all the way to Edwin Sifuna, because these people want transparency, while Raila Amolo Odinga does not want transparency. They want supply of information to Kenyans. Raila Amolo Odinga wants discrete information. As far as Kenyans are concerned, they should not know anything. When we talk about following the law to the letter, Raila Amolo Odinga considers Adani to be clean. Now, then where do we leave these three gentlemen, especially Onyonka and Sifuna? They have to sit down, quit the ODM party, leave as soon as possible, or even if it is in 2027, they don't go with the same party, so that they can only have the option of the inject party by Murara Kibaso, because this is the same party where they have ideologies that are similar. You all want transparency in inject party. The same case happens with the Onyonka. The same case happens with Edwin Sifuna. Because we cannot have a scenario where the members of parliament are doing their legislative role, questioning and oversighting the government. Then their party leaders simply decide to ignore them and actually bury deep whatever they were saying that is pertinent to the Kenyan people. It is very shameful of that. Now, we need leaders of this kind of a caliber of Onyonka to have a platform where they're able to air their views, and these views are taken serious, and they at least help Kenyans in one way or the other. As I said before, this is a Kenyan matter because one of the things that could have made Kenyans go to the streets again, it was a Adani deal. Why know that the intelligence informed the government early enough during the protest in Nairobi when they were saying occupy JKIA? Because at that time we had even the KDF, the riot police, all of them sleeping at the airport to ensure that it's secure. Could they have not done that? It was a serious occupation that could have taken place because Kenyans were agitated about the airport. Now, as we speak right now, we're not going to have the airport for 30 years. Ketraco has been taken over, and many other things are going to happen. And generally, Kenya is going to change based on the kind of investment that are happening. I don't have a problem with Adani taking over the country. Taking over these parastatals. But we're asking this. We need transparency. We want to see the questions being answered, especially about Adani being a fraud company, because we've heard how it is talked about outside there. We've read about it. Why places like Australia where they cannot invest in their money. So we want a scenario where all these questions are asked. If they genuinely win this tender, they take over and do whatever they are doing. But we also want the ideologies, the things that Onyonka and other senators are raising, to be taken care of to the latter. Because if the JKIA, if the the KIA workers lose their jobs, is that fair for the country? No. So we need a scenario where all these questions are answered. And even if Adani takes over the airport, everything is clear to Kenyans and it's happening according to the law. And there's no fishy thing, because owning the airport for 30 years, plus more other 20 years, that means personally I'll be dead before Adani finishes its contract with the Kenyans. So therefore, it is very clear that as we speak today here, 50 years to come, you're going to have Adani in the country. Not even 30, because there's an extension of 20 years more. The reason as to why we feel that these things were supposed to be done, it's because we want the law and respect for the Kenyan people. Whenever we ask for something, we are given. And we want our leaders to always listen to us. Now, why can't we trust Raila on this? Raila said that we are going to have the compensation of the youths, compensation for the youth that lost their lives in the 25th June 2024. Up to now, there's no compensation that has taken place. Raila only says it for the sake of impressing Kenyans or trying to play some perception, which is normal in the Kenyan politics. He has now said that the Adani thing has to take care of all the Kenyan laws into their deal. He's just saying it, definitely we all know. But the deals are meant to benefit them. So definitely we are not going to have anything going to happen. If the JKIA workers, most of them are going to lose jobs. We don't want such a kind of a scenario. We want a scenario where Kenyans are respected, and it's not that Kenya is put in the hands of people like Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto, and these are top leaders. We want the whole of us as a country to be given the powers and that our opinions matter, just like we do in other things, especially the issues to do with KRA. We give taxes. Therefore, we need to be sure that these taxes that we pay give us the authority to question every aspect that involves money in this country. My name is Abel Mukwa. Let me see kindly on your comment section what you think about Raila Odinga supporting Adani and what you think Onyonga should do. See you next time.